Hello, welcome to the Tenaciously Remembered Folio tutorial for the Dancing Dahlias digital collection pack, which can be purchased and downloaded at tenaciouslyremembered.com. It includes all of these papers and elements. Aside from the digital pack, you'll also need these supplies here. Go ahead and pause the video so you can gather up all the supplies you'll need. You'll go ahead and use the following pieces. These are the printable elements files. You'll want to take those and print them. You can see here some of them I've printed on colored cardstock, but in most cases I just use white cardstock. And then you'll want to go ahead and cut all the pieces apart. On this journaling card paper, you want to go ahead and cut these two side strips. We'll be using those for closures for two of the folios. There are enough embellishments in the kit to go ahead and make 3 portfolios. And so you can either print out whichever one is your favorite, the portfolio covers that's your favorite, or I decided that I want to go with just a cardstock. And so what I'm doing, of course, is just tracing it out, and of course using 2 of the sides to 1, conserve paper, and 2, less work and make my cuts as straight and least man-made as possible. And so, then you just, of course, just trim it along the line you made. There you go. And then as far as the circular part here, I kind of just take my trimmer and trim the 2 sections. You can use scissors, of course, and then just use scissors for the rest. Or, if you don't love your paper trimmer so much, you don't have to do that either. But then just go in and trim. You can possibly hear my cat warning my dog to stay out of her space. She's very serious about her space. So as you can see here, and then just trim right along. And now you have a 3rd portfolio, which will, you don't need the guidelines necessarily. I'll show you how to do that here in the next step. Okay, so you'll want to use a scoreboard, and you can see mine is labeled on both sides. We will have this plain cardstock here, but let's go ahead and you'll want to just score along the score lines, and they may not match up perfectly to your scoreboard as far as having it against each of the edges, but that's okay. So just go ahead and line it up to the closest line, and then make sure it's all the way against that edge there. And I always do it twice just to make sure. And then again, adjust accordingly. And again with that one. And then as far as this guy goes, so what you do is you just kind of like line it up with one of the others. And it definitely helps you to see where you need to start the score. So I do this, and then of course make sure that it's all lined up with the bottom one, and then just start the score right where I need to, as far as what the guides on this top one say, like that. And then you can go ahead and take this one off, and then score right along those lines, right along with those starters. There we go. And then you'll want to go ahead and score all of the pieces, including the pockets. You'll want to make sure that everything gets scored really well, because you will be, of course, folding these to make those pockets inside the folio. So just go along and score all along the different guidelines. All right, and I like to do this ahead all at once, so that way you can just grab pieces as you're ready to start working with them. And then each one of these you want to go ahead and fold. And I just go ahead and make sure the fold is tight. And these guys also, because you'll be using these as little like entrance flaps, of course. And go ahead and do that for all of these. Anywhere there's a score line. And then I like to ink almost everything that I do, especially if it's grungy like this and, you know, has a little bit of a vintage look to it. So for this collection, I thought that the Distress Ink Frayed Burlap was a really complementary color. So I just take my blending tool and I use a Teflon mat to help blend, and you can kind of see there that it defines the edge, adds a little bit of dimension, and again makes it look more vintage and grunged up like it's old, so that it kind of matches the grungish look of this collection. So if you want to ink everything, you want to go ahead and ink the edges of all the pieces. You can see I'm not doing this edge, I'm doing the folded edge of these pieces because that is what's going to be seen. So ink as much or as little as you like. And if you don't have some of these tools that I'm talking about, such as a scoring board, the inks, Teflon mat, I do have these things linked on my website as far as recommended tools and supplies. So just go to tenaciouslyremembered.com, and on there you'll see at the very top the main screen, or it could be in the little three horizontal lines, and you can go ahead and click on that to go to links to Amazon where you can get these items. Yes, it is an affiliate type program, so I will get a little bit of money if you buy through there. So full disclosure, but also thank you. So then you'll want to start getting the embellishments and everything together. Now these slides are made from these two pieces that I just cut the edges from the Dahlia journaling cards. The cards are in the center, and then these are kind of like the excess on either side. So I just cut them out in straight lines, and so we'll be using those for these slides to keep the folios closed. All right, well, let's get started making the first folio. So I decided these all mix and match. So you do not have to do what I did. And as you can tell, I'm doing something different than what the sample is. But I'm gonna go ahead and do, I think, something along the lines of this. So use your favorite adhesive. I have different ones for different reasons. Again, this is all the things I tend to use are listed on my website, tenaciouslyremembered.com, with links so where you can pick them up. And yes, if you purchase them from there, I may get a little bit of income from it. So again, thank you, but in full disclosure, I have my favorite runners, I have my favorite liquid adhesives, and honestly, it's whatever, works for you. You can see I'm using all of them. They will all work. There's nothing, I just tend to experiment with adhesives, and now having just gotten back into the game, I used to be a huge fan of ATG gun, the actual Scotch ATG gun, but I've noticed that since I've come back that the quality of tape just isn't there. I haven't been happy with it at all. It doesn't hold after a few days. It starts peeling up, and that is just not acceptable considering I want some of these things, memory projects, to last, hopefully quite some time. So anyway, you can see that I just did the sides and bottom of each of these angled pockets. So that way you can tuck all sorts of fun things in there. And then as far as these go, because I'm going to want to start playing with them and tugging on them right away, I don't want to really wait for adhesive to dry. So I'm going to go ahead and use my tape runner on these. Again, if you've got all the time in the world, by all means, use whatever adhesive works for you. And I'm lining up right along the edge there. And yes, you're going to see this here. You can, of course, always back it. You can stamp on it. You can edge it. Whatever you think. Oh, I did the wrong side. Of course, look at that. So one thing I do like about tape runner is you can just kind of peel it and it will come off. There's all sorts of things you can use. There's like adhesive erasers, etc., etc. Anyway, so we're just going to pretend that I didn't do that. Go ahead and take this, and I'll worry about cleaning that up later. All right, and then get along that edge there. Good, and if you happen to do that, it's not a big deal. Also, you could also put these flaps under the pocket before you glue it down. Whatever you think you want to do in that case. There is no right or wrong. Like, you can even glue these down and then take print off one of the Dahlia coordinating papers and cut a piece to just make it a nice mat. Whatever you want to do, there, like I said, there is no right, there is no wrong. So I want to go ahead, and I have a ribbon problem. I have all the ribbons. I collect ribbon from thrift stores, from Joann's, and wherever else is clearance aisles. Like, whenever I find a ribbon that I just happen to like, even if it's not necessarily a color I know for sure I'll use, but you know, it could coordinate well, I grab it. So that is why I have all the ribbon. It is a problem. It's one of my weaknesses, is ribbon. So I'm just going to go ahead, and it's, I don't know, roughly 2 feet long. And I'm going to do a lark's head knot. At least that's what they called it in Girl Scouts. So basically you take the two ends, push it through, and then have the ends go through the loop on the other side. So that way it's tightened that way. And don't pull too hard, because you don't want to rip out the hole, of course. And then essentially what this will do is you'll send one through this other side, and it will tie. And you can use that as the closure and make a cute little bow like this. But in the meantime, we got to fill this up with goodies. So go ahead and get whatever embellishments make you happy. I've trimmed some out and inked them, because I'm all about the ink, as you know. So I have, you know, this journaling card that I want to put here. And let's see, I think I want to grab this tag. And I already pre-punched this with a little like quarter. It's all in metric, so it's roughly a quarter to not quite a half inch circle. Again, the tools are linked on my website, Tenaciously Remembered. And I'm just going to go ahead and find here. I think I'm going to use this fiber. I had scissors, but I covered them up with ribbon. So there's that. And again, a lark's head knot. Again, I don't know what like other people call them. I doubt it's a lark's head knot unless they were a Girl Scout. But you can see there that that's a quick and easy way to get ribbon on. You can either leave the ends hanging, or you can, if you have enough left, you can make a little bow. And it's harder with fiber to find it, especially if you have nails. So there's that. I'm going to tuck it right in here like this. Super cute. All right. And then let's see, let's do this tag. So I'm going to go ahead and use this again to punch a hole. And I like to do it from the bottom so I can kind of line it up and see what I'm doing here. Let's see. A wider hole on this would be cool. All right. And then find some ribbon that works. Let's see. Let's try this rusty orangey one. No, you know what? I think I want this herringbone. So again, if you're not sure, you can kind of like see how long are the ends going to be by testing it. I think I'm going to be about that long. And you can either have it be straight, or you can cut it on an angle, or even in an arrow pattern, whatever makes you happy. And with these thicker ribbons, you want to be careful and kind of tug gently. You don't want to rip the hole out. So I just kind of adjust and pull one side at a time until it tightens. And if they're offset a little bit, that's okay. They don't have to be even. It's actually more pleasing to the eye if things are offset. So there's that. I'm going to tuck it right in here. And that's another journaling tag that you can put in there. Tuck his little ends in, or you can have them hang out. Whatever, again, makes you happy is what you should do. So with this one here, it looks a little plain. So I'm going to go ahead, and I think I'm going to grab this little ticket guy, and I can journal on him later. And then I'm going to put a little, there we go. So these gold heart paper clips, I found them on Amazon, and yes, you can absolutely, those are again linked on my website. So that just kind of gives you an idea. Then you can tuck in photos, or you can tuck in gift cards if this is a gift, etc., etc. And let's see, go ahead and tie this up like this. Right. And then got all these fun fibers and ribbons and everything, and you can make them hang out, you can tuck them in, oop, my bow came out, whatever you want to do. But essentially you have yourself a little folio ready to go, to put in an envelope, to mail, to make as a memory, whatever you like. Now we're going to go ahead and make one of the slide closures. So what I did is I took, this is the piece that we cut from the journaling block page, just a strip right off of there. And I kind of just guess. So it looks like it'll be about like that to keep it shut. And I want to hide the edge of the strip behind the embellishment that I put on it. So I'm going to slide it down. And again, you can just kind of guesstimate how it's going to look. Don't put a firm crease in it yet until you have it right where you want it. I think that'll work. Make sure it's straight. And then I just went ahead and put some adhesive while I still have it there. So that way, hopefully it doesn't slip on me. And then make sure you give it a little bit of breathing room so that way it's easier to slide on and off like that. And then I'm just going to take a flower, I think, and put it right there. And again, you can choose whatever adhesive you want. I'm just kind of mixing and matching. There we go. Usually, if I have to wait for, if I need to start using something right away, or I don't want it to wait for it to dry, then I will use the runners, the tapes. But with the flower, it can have a moment to dry. But anyway, so then slide that on, and there you go. You've got the first one done. All right, so we're going to work on our second folio. So I have these two pockets, this envelope pocket, and the folio cover with the 4 dahlias around the corner. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with my pockets and put this one here. And again, it doesn't matter if you use tape runner or if you use liquid or a combination of both. It is totally fine, whatever you decide you want to use. And then I stick it right here, kind of floating it a little bit, making sure that it's got plenty of room to fold up when it's ready. Okay. And then this one, I think I'm going to dress it up just a tiny bit. I'm going to use this label, I think, and put some ribbon through it before I glue it down. So you'll want to go ahead and get a hole punch or your crocodile and punch holes in these ends like labels, like those old like library box labels, or anyway. So it doesn't have to be perfect. If you're into perfection, this is the wrong place for you. We just want it to, look good, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And frankly, if you make a mistake, no one but you is going to know. I promise. No one is going to know. No one is going to know. Okay, so I just kind of have it go through one side. I just picked some kind of fibery ribbon, nothing too thick. You don't want it to be super thick or overpowering in any way. Okay, so I'm going to, I think I want the flower on the top side. So you see I haven't cut it yet because I want it to get it just right. And it looks like I don't need to have quite so much on the end. So there's that. And then I'll trim it here because again, I don't need a long piece. I'm just going to kind of tack it to the opposite side. This is easier to do. It's fiber. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere it here, and it'll get glued down even better once we put this end down. So there's that. And then I'm going to tug it gently and put some adhesive there. and try to make it as even as I can with this one. There. Okay. So that way it looks like that on the opposite side. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere it down with as a pocket onto the folio. This tape runner is giving me a little bit of trouble. There we go. All right. Okay, and then again here. And this tag will move around. That's okay. You can tuck a photo in there. You can tuck all sorts of fun things there. And then finally, we've got the envelope pocket. So we're not going to want to glue, of course, the flap down, but we are going to want to glue this together to make the envelope compartment. Right. Okay. And we're going to glue that right there. Go. All right, so we've got lots of fun places to put things. So let's put some things in there. Let's see. What if we had this fit in there? Yes. So let's do that and maybe do this. Let's see, center it so it follows that curve. That would be kind of fun. All right, there's that. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue that down that way. And with these tags, you want to make sure you get both sides because it is actually going to sandwich in between, and you want to make sure that the paper is adhered on both sides. So that can tuck right in there. Good. Yay. All right, so in here, let's put some fun things. So we can do this. Let's see, let's try this one. So you can score this so that it folds cleanly for you, or you can just kind of guesstimate it. Guesstimating's fine too. Again, if you want perfect, this is not the place for you to be. This is not going to be perfect. All right, there we go. And you know what? I want to add a little ink to it now that I've folded it. So I will go ahead and do that. And again, make sure that you adhere both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and put it like maybe this side. Like that. There we go. Tuck it in there. So now there's something fun, but you know, maybe people won't know. So maybe put this little note. Oh, there's more inside. Put it here. And then let's see, so we're reaching for a journaling pen. And I'm going to put arrow down like that. There's more inside. So look, you can hide, again, photos, gift cards, etc. in there. Super fun. Let's see. And then we got, I want to put this in here. It's a tiny bit too tall. So you know what? Sometimes you got to do things on the fly. So I'm going to go ahead and trim. I don't want to trim the flower, so I'm going to trim this side off a little bit, like that. Let's see if that fits. It does. Wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and ink it. And you can corner around the corners again if you want, or you can leave it like it is. And for this, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like it is. So we've got that. So that's a little journaling card that you can put in there. And then, let's see. So we're going to go ahead and put check inside on the outside of the envelope so that they know to look. There's that. And then I just want to put like a loose flower that you can then like journal or something on the back side. And I'm going to put one of these gold, they're like oversized gold paper clips. They're so fun. Again, they're on my website, tenaciously-remembered.com, under the suggested supplies and tools, and there is a Amazon link to where you can get that, find these on there. So there is that one. So I think, and then you can actually make another one of these. Same concept as before, just kind of guesstimate-ish where you'd like it to be. I seem to overshoot each time there. Okay, and then make sure it's even, and there's a tiny bit of wiggle room so you're not struggling with it. There we go. There we go, right there. And then you can find a flower and put it on the front. I forgot I'm gonna ink this so that it looks like the rest of the projects. There we go. And adhere it, I think, right there. I'm going to use some liquid on it. I don't know, you can decide if you want it a little offset or how you want it. There. All right. So that is folio number 2. They're coming together. All right, so we're going to work on the final folio. So this is the piece of cardstock that I traced out, and so that way I can make a third folio out of all the goodies that come out of the kit. So let's see, we've got this pocket here. So I'll go ahead and, if I can figure out what adhesive I want to use, go ahead and adhere it down, and it goes on the top section inside. And again, you want to make sure that there's plenty of room there for it to fold up, and just kind of float it in that space. There we go. And then we have the same with the large pocket. And we're going to put that in the center. There we go. And then finally we have this angle piece, which we're going to put down here, and only adhere the sides and the bottom. And I am just using this liquid glue because I want there to be plenty of space to tuck something in there. Let's see, here we go. And with this, it's a little bit wider than that, you know, little thin line of adhesive. So there we have that. So this is really plain on the other side. So I'd really like to dress it up. And so I have this Dancing Dahlias quote, for lack of a better name for it. And so I'm going to show you, I'm going to kind of quote unquote break the plane and actually have this piece go across both sides. And because of that, I'm going to put extra adhesive on here because I don't want it to come loose with the fold. So you could use your scoring board to do this, but I am just kind of folding it, and then you can use your fingernail or your scoring board to make sure that it stays there on the fold. But then it kind of decorates both sides. So let's finish this side. Let's see, what's this? Will this fit here? It sure will. So let's do that. Looks cute. And here you can put, you know, it says author, title. It's like one of those, it's like a library card. Stamped on, kind of stamped in the paper itself. So let's see, I think I want to do a flower there. Yeah, let's do that. And I kind of want the edges to pop up a little bit, kind of like 3D. I love when you can do some 3D elements along with the 2-dimensional embellishments. And that way it just gives it kind of some dimension. All right, so flip it over to the other side. We have this. Let's see. No, I can do something like that, or I wonder what would look cute. That's not terrible. Let's do that. And again, this can be used as a journaling card. You can use it as a photo mat for a photo or a couple small photos. and just, you know, let your imagination run wild. And again, like these are all meant to coordinate and mix and match. So you absolutely can mix and match. So there's that. Okay, let's fill up these pockets with fun things. Let's see, where would this go? So this could go inside here, lift here, not a bad idea. So I could put it here on this side, or do I like this side better? I think I like the flower side. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach lift here to the tab, like that. And I'm gonna adhere the tab to a little journaling card here with the Dahlia on it. Like that, line it up, make it even. There we go. And that can get tucked right inside, so fun. All right, and then let's see what can get tucked in here. See, I've got some other like cool journaling cards and whatnot. So envelope's fun. In here with this, maybe back it with photo. And let's see, this, we could trim it down and have it fit in there really cute. So I, like again, you gotta kind of work on the fly sometimes. Let's see, this is like a little less than 3 inches. So if I do like 2.5 inches, it should fit just fine. All right, and I want to corner around this again. I don't want to leave it the way it is like I did earlier. So I'm gonna go ahead and corner around. Oops. And that did not go well, did it? There we go. And I'm going to ink the edges a little bit with my leftover ink on my blending tool. Again, there we go. Perfect. That fits really nicely there. All right. And then this top one, I can put this label in here. Ooh, with a little, put a little note. Stick it right in there. Yeah, let's do that. And again, with these tabs, you want to make sure you get adhesive on both sides so that way it adheres well to both sides of whatever embellishment you're adding it to. There we go. Tuck that in there. And let's see, we got a couple flowers. Let's try. Ooh, that looks nice. I like that. There's the pink look better. Let's see. Actually, I'm kind of liking the pink. The one on this side. Let's see. Ooh, I like that. Let's do that. Okay, so I want to make sure I only adhere the bottom and side because you don't want it to get caught in the pocket, right? Okay. Oh, I just did exactly what I said I wasn't going to do, right? Again. That's what happens. Paper crafting in real time gets messy. All right, let's try this again. Bottom. Gotta be careful when you flip things over. Confuse yourself. All right, so there's that. Perfect, and this can still come in and out, no problem. Yay. All right, so we can close that up. And then with this one, I'm just gonna use this tag as like a to from, and then use ribbon to, what do I do with this guy? I don't know, that's kind of cool. Yeah, let's do that. We'll offset him there. Again, I want to make sure I only do, let's do that. I'm going to offset it. There we go. And then I'm going to pick some ribbon that works well. Let's see. Something like that. And that's not going to be long enough. Not this one. Oh, I kind of like that. It's like tattered. All right. So, and I don't want to cut it quite yet because I want to make sure I have enough length to do what I want to do. And I'm going to go ahead and string the tag through now. So that way, even if it gets untied, the tag shouldn't get lost. And then I'm going to tie a bow. Let's see, there you go, there's that tag. There we go. I'm going to offset it just a little bit so you can see the flower really cute. Make sure it doesn't get caught on the other side. Get around that flower. There we go. And And we'll go ahead and trim these ends off. I'm going to do it at an angle this time. Ribbon's good. All right, and there you have your third one ready to go. All right, so here are the 3 folios we just made. So just to kind of walk you through them one more time. This is a slide and it opens up and has these 2 pockets here with fun embellishments. And again, gift cards, notes, photos, money, whatever you may be, you know, giving someone with this. It can be a card, it can be memory, whatever you like. I've actually used them as pieces to a mini album. So here's this one, and we've got this little journaling cards stuffed in there. And then we have number 2 right here. Again, slide that off. So we've got the little directions if you like that idea. So again, little things tucked inside, and we made this one so that it matches this curve really well. And then there's more items tucked in here. Of course, again, tuck all your own memorabilia and fun things in there. These guys, linked them on my website, tenaciously.remembered.com. And then more hidden fun things. And I like having it loose. I don't know why. I guess one more thing to lose or whatever. But if you don't, you can always adhere it to the top of the flap of the fold or to the jumbo paper clip, whatever, you know, makes you happy. And then finally, the third one is closed with this cool ribbon. Again, I'm a ribbon junkie. I have all the ribbons. And so, you know, don't buy, like, find ribbon at thrift stores, find it on clearance racks, or if you absolutely love a ribbon, of course, pay full price, because, you know, if you wait, it may not be there later. So this one here was just a piece of cardstock that I traced to create the folio itself, and then I used embellishments and pockets to just make it so I have yet another folio that I can have, you know, fun sentiments, things tucked away, all that kind of stuff. So there's the third one.